everyone, this is Jamerica from the Jamerica Life, and today we're going to make some sausage from scratch, homemade sausage. I wanted to bring you this special today because I eat pork patties or pork sausage, not every morning, but every now and then I want it, and I use it for my spaghetti sauce. I am tired of buying the sausage that is already made because it's getting way too expensive and you can make it yourself. So I got myself a pork shoulder or a pork butt, either way, one of those two. And I got some seasoning over here and we are going to make our own pork sausage. So let's go ahead and get to it because we ain't gonna pay these prices anymore. No. You can do it yourself. You can do it yourself. First things first, let's go over the list of ingredients. Of course, you're gonna need some pork. I recommend you get a couple of gloves because you're gonna have to mix this stuff with your hands. You're gonna need a grinder, either a hand grinder or you could use a KitchenAid or a food processor. You're gonna need salt, pepper, crushed pepper, nutmeg, coriander, thyme, sage, cayenne pepper. Wow, there's a lot of pepper in here, and some brown sugar. And for those of you who like maple syrup and what is the other thing you can use in here? Paprika. Go ahead and get those. But these are the things that I'm going to use. I'm not going to put paprika or maple syrup in it because I don't really like, sugar is enough for me. I don't really like sweet stuff. So I'm going to put all of this stuff to the side because the first thing we're going to have to do is cut our pork shoulder or pork butt up into chunks. And then we're going to put it in the food processor and, the grinder, and grind it down. So let me put everything back over here and get it into a state. So take my knife and I'm gonna cut this thing into chunks. Helps if you have a sharp knife, Jamerica. Let me get another knife because this is getting on my nerve. Wait a minute. Oh, y'all never seen me do this before. Sharpening it. Haven't sharpened them in a while. Okay. So I got 1, 2. And in these cuts of meat, they are, there's a bone. You're going to have to get the bone out. So we're cutting this. I'm going to cut it across first. Get my list away from me so it doesn't get a bunch of whatever pork remnants on it. I need a bigger plastic board. I was going to use the wood board, but for meat, I really do not like using wood because it absorbs some of the juices from the meat, and that's not necessarily good for you. It's called cross-contamination. It could contaminate the board and cause you to get sick later on. So I should have gotten another bowl. I have one right here. A little small one, but I have one. Sorry, y'all. I had to get off camera. So I'm going to cut these into chunks. Just small enough so that I could fit it into, take this out, fit it into this thing right here, into the grinder. So I see that this one's too big, so I'm going to cut it again. I'm operating with a small landscape. It's not necessarily easy. This is good. This one's good, but this one might need to cut in half. Here we go. Just make it work. You gotta work with what you got. Initially, I didn't have this attachment for my KitchenAid. I had to go and get it. I used a hand grinder, and you can do that. Hand grinders are not as easy to work with because after I grinded, I did this after I did this the second time, I had to fight with that thing to get it apart, to clean it. Wasn't easy. It's underneath the sink. I'll show you that after we do this. I'll show you the other grinder. But you can get a hand grinder. It's cheaper, but it's not as easy to clean. Not. And you're hand grinding, so you're using your muscle in order to grind the meat. So this is the first time I'm using the automatic one, so I'm excited. I went to a store, right, and I had a coupon for like 20% off, right? And I had this attachment in my hand, and it's not, I didn't want to necessarily spend the entire, the full amount. So I had my little coupon, right? The lady told me, "I'm sorry, ma'am, that doesn't work for appliances. Do you still want it?" And I was like, "Yeah, I need it, so I'm just gonna have to pay for it." Sometimes you just have to pay full price for what you want. I'm frugal, right? So if I can find a coupon for something, I'm going to do it. Unfortunately, it didn't work that time, but it's okay. I needed the attachment, so I got it anyway. Or I wanted the attachment because I was not going to go through that hand grinding thing again. Woo! That was something I didn't want to do again. I'm having a tough time cutting through this part. It's okay. I will prevail. I don't give up easy. Look at that. That is not fat. That is some kind of ligament. That's why the knife don't want to cut through it. I think I'll let it go. Think I better let it go. Cut this ligament off. I don't want to grind that up. I'm going to put that to the side. That's for the trash. There's another piece here. Let me separate these. How about that? Separate it. Separate the muscle structure. All right. Cut this one. Yeah, so I ended up buying it for full price. And I still think I did the right thing. Man, that hand grinder, I felt like I was going to get carpal tunnel. It's like, this is not the faint of heart. And I am apparently the faint of heart. Doing this, working myself to death. No. I said, I'll pay full price. I just don't want to do it again. There was a time in my life where I'd be like, oh no, I'm just going to have to use a hand tool. Nowadays, I'm like, easier is better for me. Easier? If it's not, unless it's super expensive, then I'd be like, I might have to just, wait on that and use what I got. So there's you need to take this off, this sleeve. Okay. So cut that away from the bone. Got Lionel Richie's song in my head. Sail on down the line. I don't know where I get these songs in my head. Not voices, but songs. Like somebody's playing a radio in my brain. I don't know if I'm the only one who goes through that, but oh well. Everybody has their issues or their blessings, or that might be a blessing, because sometimes I hear songs in my head when I'm not when I can't listen to music. I just try to play it back in from my memory. Take myself to a different place. Music goes straight to either to your heartstrings. It can make you happy. It can help you. Music is very powerful, I think. Very, very powerful. You gotta listen. Listening is very powerful because you gotta be careful what you listen to. Careful. Lead you down a dark path. Teach you something you don't want to know. I'm still trying to get this stuff off. Trying to get this silver skin off. That's what it's called. Silver skin. Go to the other side, girl. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Speaking words of wisdom. Let it be. Go to the fat side. Go to the fat side and work with that. Okay, let me get this. This doesn't belong. I don't need that. Cut that. Cut that. I got a little bit of silver skin on this one. Silver skin is tough. It's like the stuff that, like if there's, like your muscles are separated into portions and then there's silver skin in between the muscle tissue. And that stuff is tough. But you know what? I'm just gonna let it be because it's on there. It'll grind up. It'll, it's not very tasty though. It's all right. The fat will make up for that. I got a lot of fat on this piece of meat. I bought this intentionally. I bought this to either make bacon or sausage. When I looked at the piece of meat, I knew that I was going to cook. I was not buying it as a roast. Was not. Some people, you know, they'll look at the roast and they'll be like, I don't want it because it has all that fat on it. I was looking for fat. And that's what I wanted on there. Especially if I was going to make bacon with it. Well, sausage too. And we want a dried up piece of sausage. Like, why is it so dry? So, I intentionally bought this. Looked for the fatty one. The fat piece of meat. Alright, so. Nobody said everything had to, well, I'm saying everything. You know, you could be healthy or try to be as healthy as possible, but sometimes you gotta. Did that dog come back down here? Because I told them to go to bed. I hear that little chihuahua's chain ching-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. Ching-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. I don't see him. There he is. Bedtime. He give me look like bedtime. Bedtime. You think he's special? He's like, I want to go on the couch. Bedtime, Chico. I hear him go upstairs. He didn't go upstairs. He's so defiant. Defiant little animal that is. Working hard, work. Used to wear my faded jeans. Now I'm wearing army greens. Let me stop singing cadence. I was thinking about cadence today. I was like, where does this come from? All these cadence. I haven't heard cadence. I mean, I've been out for a while. Sometimes that stuff just creep back on you. Good times, and with each song, you can imagine where you were when you know, one of the memories, because I was in the Army a long time, one of the memories of when that cadence was sung and what was happening. Were you running? Were you marching? What were you doing? Was somebody running by you singing that? Some of that stuff is inspiring, man. You hear them, and it's like a old soldier song. Ooh. Let's see here. We're getting down to the nitty gritty. I might just cook this for my dogs. Because I ain't gonna be fighting with this piece of meat. Ain't gonna do it. Ain't gonna be fighting with this bone. Just throw it in the what's that thing called? Air fryer. Call it a day. That's what I'm gonna do. That is what I'm gonna do. So there's a bone in here, and you're not necessarily gonna get all the meat off. You try It ain't worth cutting yourself though for it. So I'll just get off what I can and put it to the side with the silver skin. Make sure I don't have any extra silver skin on here. And this is my junk pile, and this is what's left right here. Can you see me? That's what's left right here. The stuff that I'm cutting right now is what we're working with. Instead of let the knife do the work, girl. Knife will cut through the meat. Just slide it across. It'll get through it. You don't have to press down. Okay. So we're ready to grind. Do our first grind. I'm gonna have to grind this meat twice. One time with just the meat. Then we're gonna add the seasoning and we're gonna grind it again. And after the second grind, you refrigerate it for 24 hours to let, I don't want to get this mixed up, to let all of the seasoning get inside of the meat, of the grinded meat. So here's our trash. We're going to take that, put it over here. With our knife, we don't need that anymore. And we're going to I'm going to wash my hands. Okay, so here we are. We have our bowl, and I don't have an extension cord for my grinder. We have our bowl, and we're gonna put our meat into the thing. I got to lock your blender, because if you don't lock it, it jumps up and down. So you wanna lock it so it doesn't move. And my control switch is right there. So let's get to it. Let's go ahead and get this thing in. Hopefully I put my grinder in. Yeah, I did. I did it correctly. But I see it coming out. Oh, this is a lot easier. I don't know, maybe I should run some ice through this joker again. Well, I never did. There we go. Cooking with Crisco. Cooking with Crisco. I don't think that was machine's fault. I think that was my fault for not getting the silver skin off properly. Hopefully I cleared enough of it. Let's get this party started. Let's get it done. You don't know who you messing with, pork. You ain't got me licked. No, no, no. Uh-oh. Now at school, we got some ice and we cleaned it out that way. And then we put it under the sink to run all the extra pork out of the blade. But I'm gonna use this one more time to after I put the seasoning in, it has to go through again. So let's turn this thing off. Okay. Seasoning time. We gotta do this again, so let's not get comfortable, huh? Turn this around. And now it's time to get the seasoning together. 5 pounds, 13.7 ounces. So it's almost 6 pounds. Let's get this back in there. Got losing all our meat, or my meat. Put it back in there. Plate, you have served your purpose. You know, I always fuss at myself because I got a bunch of dishes at the end of the night, and now I see why. All right, let's put our seasoning in. We got about 6 pounds, and this recipe is by pound. So the first thing we have to put in is 1.5 teaspoons of sage per pound. .5 teaspoons of sage per pound. And this sage is sage tea that I'm using. I wish I had a towel, but I don't. So I'm just gonna eyeball it. One. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. That's 8. I'm breaking these leaves up as much as I can. Can't wait to get my own big pile of sage because I'm out now. 9. Might as well use it all, huh? All right. So we need 1 teaspoon of thyme. I got my own thyme. We have about 6 pounds. So that's 2 tablespoons of thyme. This is the thyme that I grew. I'm taking my hand and I need to scrunch this thing up. There's 1. I should have put it in a coffee grinder, but it's all right. Oh, 2. All right, I think I got enough thyme in here. And if the stuff is not broken up, you know what? That grind is gonna grind it up and it's gonna sit overnight. So it should be just fine. Just fine. I'm trying to convince myself. Just joking. All right, salt, we need 1 teaspoon per pound. So we're gonna actually measure this. So there's 6, I need 2 tablespoons because 3 teaspoons are in 1 tablespoon. So make sure I got a tablespoon. That's 1. That's 2. So we got the thyme, sage, done. Next is the pepper. Pepper is 0.75 teaspoons per pound. So this pepper is not open. So it's 6 pounds, right? 0.75, 150 equals 1.5 teaspoons for every 2 pounds. So that's 3 teaspoons for 4 pounds. Wait a minute. 1.5, that's 3 teaspoons for 4 pounds. 5.5 teaspoons. 5.5 teaspoons for 6 pounds. So let me get my teaspoon out. Here's my teaspoon. Yes. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and a half. Done there. You American man. Next is brown sugar, 2 teaspoons per pound. Wow, that's a lot of sugar right there. Who am I to judge? 2 teaspoons, huh? Wow. So that's 2 tablespoons. 2 teaspoons per pound. 2 times 6 is 12. 12 divided by O is 4 tablespoons. I don't know about that. I don't think I'm gonna put 4 in there. I'll put 3 and call it good enough, because that's too much sugar. No. Yeah, that's too much sugar for me. All right. Cayenne pepper. I didn't write a thing down for cayenne pepper. I think it's 0.25. 0.25 times 6 is going to be 1.5 teaspoons. So that's a teaspoon right there. 1. It's the 4th. I'm going to do 2 of these. 1, 2. That's done. Next is the flaked peppers. Flaked pepper, they say we have to use 0.25, which means that it's going to be a teaspoon and a half. One teaspoon. 2 teaspoons, because I'm being bad. You know I like hot food, right? Some people can't take it. So here goes my nutmeg, which is interesting to put in here, but I'm going to put it in there anyway because it said to. I am going to put 0.25 teaspoons of nutmeg in here. Where's my grinder? I'm just going to eyeball it. This stuff is strong. It can ruin your dish. Let me be careful. Grab a plate. I ain't ruining my sausage. Put it where I can see it. I remember I was making some jerk. And I used too much of this, and it ruined it. Teaspoon and a half. I think that's enough right there. That looks like a teaspoon and a half to me. I pray it's not more. I'd rather have less nutmeg than too much. Okay, coriander 0.25. So that's a teaspoon and a half. I've had this for a long. Still there. Oof, that stuff stinks. No wonder I put it in a jar. 1 and 2. Teaspoon and a half. Okay, everything's in. Everything's in. Let me put my gloves on and get all these bottles out of the way. Now, you don't want to put your seasoning up until tomorrow after we put it on the fryer. That's when you do your taste test. You take a little piece of this, you fry it, you taste it, and then you adjust your seasoning. So this is just the baseline right now. Just the baseline. I don't have any more sage, so whatever's in there right now, you're gonna have to do. You gotta have sage for these sausage. Got to. Gotta have sage. I only have fresh sage, so let me put my gloves on because I'm gonna be mixing this really well. And I was out in the garden today. Washed my hands several times, cleaned my nails, but you never know. You never know. These are food safe gloves. All this trash. All this trash can go over here, out of the frame. So we have all our seasoning in here. Just get my food safe gloves on. Moving all of these utensils out of the way. Put all my seasoning organized a little bit in a row. I'll get something. I'll get a bag to put that in. All right, get my gloves on. Like we're making a meatloaf. Combine it. I had this pork sitting in the refrigerator for about a day and a half. And I finally said, you know what, Jamerica? Go ahead and get it done, girl. Stop procrastinating. You know you need sausage. You don't want to buy it from the supermarket anymore. You know how to make it. You have the recipe. Just do it, girl. Just do it. I haven't made meatloaf in a long time. Man, I remember when I used to make meatloaf sandwiches. Woo! They were good, good, good. Sort of smells like. Sort of smells like what it should. I hope so. I hope I didn't mess up. I probably didn't. Woo! This is hard work. And I'm short, so I gotta. All right. Time to put it back through the grinder. Welcome to the Red Kingdom. Red Kingdom. Welcome to the... All right. Let's go, Jamerica. Get it together, girl. All right, we're going to put it on a plate, and then we're going to put it back in the bowl. Some recipes say you should put some powdered milk in here as a binding agent. I couldn't find mine, and if I did have any, it's probably expired. So we're just going to make do what we have. I didn't put any milk in the other ones that I made, and they came out just fine. So we're going to do this. Put this right here. And I'm going to turn this one back on. Wow. How do you get it in there? Where's my thing? We're gonna put it in the refrigerator overnight, but I'm gonna do a sample. Just in case. Here we go. Just grab a little piece, girl. Just a little. Tiny piece. Please let this thing be seasoned. I'm gonna have to grind it again. Here we go, sizzle, sizzle. Sizzle, sizzle. Not reaction. You gotta wait till it cooks a little while. Turn this thing down. Okay, taste test. Lord, please. Not bad. Tomorrow it should be better. All right, put it in the fridge overnight for 24 hours. See you in 24. Good morning, everyone. It's about 36 hours later. And let me turn this thing down. It's smoking. I don't want it smoking. Let me put my gloves on. We're going to fry up a sample of the sausage meat. And if it's good, we're going to make it into patties with some wax paper and freeze them. I'm confident they're good. Confident. Because I tasted it when it was like, you know, just freshly mixed. And it seemed like it was going to be really good. So I have it here. Go ahead and take the plastic off. Slide back the wax paper. And sample, you don't want it to be too big. Some people like this sausage patty small anyway, normally. So I'm just going to do one. Very small. Super small. It's just a taste test. So if we have to do any adjustments, you know, we will. So there it is right there. While it's cooking, I'm gonna put the rest of it back in the refrigerator. Okay, it's cooked. Here it is. Now I know it's leaner than a normal sausage. I just know that it is because I didn't have a lot of fat on there. I had fat on there, but not as much as the normal sausage that you would buy out in the grocery store. So make sure it's cooked. This is actually way better than the grocery store stuff. It's not as salty. Hey, pick whatever however much you want salt and sugar you want to put in there. I think that what the recipe called for is the perfect amount. Some people may like it saltier. Let me turn this off. Some people may like it saltier, but I think this is perfect. Doesn't need anything. It smells good. Oh, that's good. That's real good. Make your own sausage. Don't buy that stuff. I don't know what's in half of that stuff anyway. But that I know. Well, I know that I got this from a piece of pork that had a bone in it. That was most likely real. And it's cheaper because in Texas, I think it's running for $1.19 a pound for one of those pork shoulders or pork butts. And maybe 99 cents a pound if you could find it on special. And then the season, I already had that in the house. Man, and this is way better. I'm going to have sausage probably for the next 4 to 6 months. Because I did 6 pounds. So that's like 6 of those tubes of sausage, which would have ran. So the sausage in the tubes are running about $5 each. $30. And I know that there's no, MSG or any of the extra stuff in there. So go ahead and make your own sausage. I know it took a little while for me to do it, but it is worth it. It is worth it. My taste buds are bouncing off my mouth. Anyway, I'm going to finish this little piece of sausage. I'm going to get the rest of them out of the refrigerator. It is marinated. That's why we put it in the refrigerator, because we wanted to marinate it. We wanted all the spices to combine, and they combined well. It's not super hot. It's perfect. It's close to perfect. It's it's better than the store-bought stuff, my opinion. Leaner. Remember, it's going to be leaner. Okay. This is Jamerica with Jamerica Life. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'm going to do more, homemade stuff like sausage. Well, this is one type of sausage. This is just regular old breakfast sausage that we buy, like the JD. Starts with a Jimmy. It's regular breakfast sausage that we buy in the tubes and make patties out of. But there's plenty of things we could do with pork and beef and lamb and deer meat. There's a lot of things that we can do, and we can combine them all together, and oh my gosh, it's a lot. So cooking is fun. This is Jamerica with Jamerica Life. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and go ahead and start making your own stuff. All right, Y'all take care. Bye.